Hello everyone, and welcome to a brand new Star Rail theory and speculation video. Today, I want to talk about the Path of the Beauty and its Aeon, Idrila. Since Idrila is currently missing, we don't know too much about them, but I still want to speculate on them and the factions of the Beauty. Now, this video does contain spoilers for the quests listed on screen now, so if you haven't done those, you have been warned. With all that said though, let's get right into the video. Of course, I want to start off this video by talking about Idrila, the Aeon of the Beauty. They were born after having observed the ultimate meaning of the world's existence, that of course being beauty. Throughout the galaxy, they have gone by many names, including Andare, Wonder Gazer, Sacrosanct, and Goddess of Beauty. As I've said, Idrila isn't around anymore, and as such, only legends and myths surrounding them remain. One of these myths says that Idrila once claimed sole attribution for the beauty of all the star zones. Traveling around the universe, they would showcase the meaning and aesthetics of the cosmic landscape to all matters of people. They also drove these people to accomplish astonishing, but oftentimes devastating achievements for Idrila's own pleasure. According to the readable Glimpses into the Beyond, this myth unveils the true significance of the Path of the Beauty, that being the integration of consciousness, insight, and values, and the beauty in change and choice. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said that Idrila is currently missing. However, that's not the whole truth. The two factions that follow Idrila, the Mirror Holders and the Knights of Beauty, each have a different view regarding their disappearance. The Knights of Beauty, like Argenti, believe they have simply disappeared and will return one day. On the other hand, the Mirror Holders believe that Idrila has instead been shattered, with pieces of her divine form being scattered across the universe. The latter of these two beliefs seems to be the more agreed upon conclusion, as both Fu Xuan and the Astral Express databank believe that Idrila has fallen. With that in mind, I think we should talk more about the faction known as the Mirror Holders. We haven't met any Mirror Holders in the game yet, but it is of course known that they follow the Path of the Beauty. In their eyes, Idrila has fallen, but they still believe that they can bring them back. The Mirror Holders believe that the downfall of Idrila was an ancient metaphor, symbolizing the shattering of people's views of beauty. As their views crumbled, so too did the Aeon of Beauty. As such, their goal of bringing Idrila back goes far beyond simply wanting their Aeon to return to them. When the conceptions of beauty are reunified, all disputes and strife will disappear from the universe. They believe that if Idrila returns, the universe will become whole. While the idea of resurrecting a fallen Aeon does seem a bit delusional, their plan actually seems to have some solid support. The Mirror Holders possess a series of mysterious items known as Mirrors of Transcendence, seen in a few simulated universe occurrences. Instead of reflecting the material world, these relics reflect what is considered by the beholder as beauty, before projecting that idea into reality itself. In the eyes of the Mirror Holders, these Mirrors of Transcendence are the fragments of Idrila's divine form. They believe that when Idrila died, their fragments became scattered all across the infinite cosmos. As such, the Mirror Holders began to wander the universe, searching for any clues they could find to locate the scattered fragments. One day, they hope to piece all of these mirrors together and let beauty return to the world. Again, while this may seem crazy, both Fu Xuan and the Intelligentsia Guild believe their plan could end up working. As such, there is potential for us to see this plan working in the future, which I'll touch on later. Now, I recently made a video going over the 4 potential destinations mentioned towards the end of the version 2.2 Penacony Trailblaze missions. One of these worlds was the agate world Melustanin, proposed as a potential destination by Welts. As for why I'm bringing up this planet again, it's actually the place where Idrila ascended to become the Aeon of the Beauty. Therefore, if we do end up visiting Melustanin in the future, it is definitely possible that we could run into some Mirror Holders there. Being a world so significant to the Beauty, it would make a lot of sense for some of their members to be there. As such, we could learn more about their plan to resurrect Idrila by talking to them here. Additionally, this planet could even be where they plan to reunite all of the Mirrors of Transcendence to resurrect Idrila, allowing them to return from the very same place they initially ascended. Other than Melustanin though, we could definitely meet some mirror holders out and about in the galaxy, similar to how we first met Argenti. After all, the mirror holders wander the stars looking for fragments of Idrila, so there's definitely a chance that our paths would cross. Perhaps one of the clues about a mirror of transcendence leads them directly to the Astral Express, giving them a reason to meet up with us at some point in the future. Similar to how we first met Argenti out in the cosmos, this is potentially how the first playable mirror holder could be introduced to us. Personally, I think it would be poetic for us to meet our first members from each of the Beauty's factions in a similar way. Additionally, it would show us more of the differences between the two factions and how they operate. Now then, it's time to talk about the other faction that follows the Beauty, that of course being the Knights of Beauty. As I said earlier, they believe that Idrila is missing, not deceased. The Knights of Beauty are the most infatuated with classical beauty out of all of Idrila's followers, traveling from planet to planet and spreading the name of Idrila to all beings of the universe. As we've seen with Argenti, the Knights of Beauty are extremely self-disciplined. They abide by a creed known as the Code of Chivalry, believing that only through a perfectly refined body, mind, and spirit can they become truly worthy of worshipping Idrila. However, despite their extraordinary strength, the major factions of the cosmos tend to hold them in low regard. The entry for them in the Astral Express databank reads, "Warriors with only worship but little faith are but wastrels traversing the universe, and cannot form a powerful force." Despite this, the Knights still travel all across the universe, with the source of their power remaining unknown to this day. Now, after Idrila fell, the Knights of Beauty disbanded, though the individual Knights remained active. They now roam the cosmos as individuals as opposed to a group, though this did lead to a few consequences. Over time, many of the Knights would begin to falter, losing their faith and honor while traveling alone. Additionally, the masked fools would often amuse themselves during these times by messing with these Knights. These days though, the Knights of Beauty find themselves traveling the cosmos to help those in need. They once convinced a man to clean his city instead of littering, and they created a culture of self-positivity among youths. Over time, many different groups of Knights have formed, with the only one currently known being Honor-clad, which Argenti is a part of. According to him, the different groups can be identified by their armor. Now, our first run-in with the Knights of Beauty was when we happened to meet Argenti. He had just saved an IPC member named Velite from a cluster of swarm units, and ended up coming aboard the Astral Express. Eventually, we learned that the Astral Express had been swallowed by a giant swarm of unknown origin. In his honor, Argenti would leave the Express to fight the monster alone, knowing the risks. Fortunately, Argenti does end up surviving, and the Express manages to break free from the giant swarm. Later on, we meet Argenti once again during the Superstar Showdown on Penacony. Here, we learn that he was the one who saved Aventurine from the primordial dreamscape after his fight with the Astral Express crew and Acheron. While here, we can either convince him to stand down or face him in battle. Either way, he wishes the Trailblazer and Firefly luck on their mission. As of right now, that is our latest encounter with the Knights of Beauty. Like the mirror holders, there's definitely potential for us to meet them on Melustanin if we do end up traveling there. We could also meet them out and about in the cosmos, as they do travel to many different worlds across the universe. Now, we do know the names of a few other Knights of Beauty. They are Abomans, Enocle, Galahad Ican, Holvizio, Pomain, Stilote, and Will Garner. Perhaps we'll be able to meet some of these Knights at some point in the near future. Focusing back on the Beauty as a whole though, I want to discuss how Idrila and their factions could be involved in the future of Star Rail. In my aforementioned After Penacony video, I mentioned the idea of a simulated universe expansion focusing on the Beauty. This expansion would tell us about the rise and fall of Idrila, while also giving us more information about the factions of the Beauty. We would learn about many beautiful worlds, including Melustanin and the Glassbelt Petrevia, which was also mentioned during the version 2.2 Trailblaze mission. Before, I had speculated that this expansion could attract the interest of a new Knight of Beauty, but after researching for this video, I've changed my mind. Instead, I think this role could be filled by a mirror holder. They may want to use the simulated universe to find out where other mirrors of transcendence fell across the galaxy. As such, this expansion could be used to set up a storyline far in the future where Idrila actually returns to the world. Idrila returning would likely be a story for much later on in the game, as the idea of resurrecting an Aeon feels like an endgame plot. It could even happen after our final battle with Nanook, as once the universe is safe from destruction, the Beauty could finally return. Of course, the simulated universe expansion could still happen quite soon. Anyways, that's pretty much it for my thoughts on Idrila the Beauty and their factions. I really enjoyed talking about the Aeons, and I do plan on covering more of them in the future. I also plan on covering the lore of the Planner Ornaments, as many of you pointed out that each of those has the potential to be a playable world. If you want more lore about Star Rail in the meantime, I recommend my videos on the 10 Stonehearts, After Penacony, and the flagships of the Xianzhou Alliance. I would love to hear what ideas you all have for Idrila and the Beauty in the comments below as well. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Sources and further readings are also in the description if you want to check them out. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next video.